Imagine this: a tiny speedboat slicing through the Indian Ocean, chasing a massive cargo ship worth millions. Armed with AK-47s and a rope ladder, a handful of desperate young men, some as young as 16, risk their lives to climb aboard. To the world, they're ruthless pirates, terrorizing the seas. But in Somalia, they're hailed as heroes, modern-day Robin Hoods fighting for survival. How did a nation's fishermen turn into the world's most infamous outlaws? This is the untold story of Somalia's pirates, a tale of greed, desperation, and a broken system. Somalia's terrifying pirates have looted countless ships, striking fear into sailors worldwide. The world brands them villains, but for many Somalis, they were saviors, stealing from the rich to feed the poor. In this chaotic world, their toughest challenge was reaching a ship, hooking a rope ladder, and climbing aboard, an act that failed more often than it succeeded. These weren't just random thugs. They were local clansmen armed with weapons traded for permission to dump toxic waste on Somalia's shores, a deal dubbed guns for waste. While some nations divide people by religion or race, Somalia's dictators used clan identities to fracture their society. Food and jobs were so scarce that for young boys, piracy wasn't a choice. It was survival. Let's dive into one gripping tale. April 8, 2009. The Maersk Alabama, an American ship carrying humanitarian aid from Oman to Kenya, sailed 440 kilometers off Somalia's coast when lights flickered on its radar. The crew scanned the horizon and spotted a small boat closing in fast. Not again, they thought. Twice in the last 24 hours they'd dodged similar threats, but this time, a chilling radio message crackled through. Cargo ships usually outrun pirates by cranking up speed, but the Maersk Alabama topped out at 18 to 20 knots, too slow to escape the pirates' speedboats clocking over 25 knots. As the boat neared, Captain Richard Phillips sounded the alarm. The crew bolted for the safe room, clutching water hoses as their only defense, useless against armed invaders. Soon a ladder clanged against the hull. The first pirate, wielding an AK-47, stormed aboard, firing wildly. 14 of the 19 crew made it to safety. 2 hid, leaving Phillips and 2 others on the bridge, the ship's nerve center. The helmsman rocked the ship, sinking the pirates' boat and trapping them aboard. 4 pirates, led by 18-year-old Abdiwali Abdikadir Musi, cornered Phillips. "We don't want blood," they said. "Just money." Phillips shut down the engines, stalling the ship. The pirates demanded the hidden crew, but engineer Zahid Reza stalled. They wanted to come out unless they know it, as safe. Musi insisted on finding them, agreeing to ditch his gun. Reza led him below, past the engine room, where Chief Engineer Mike Perry ambushed Musi, stabbing his hand and locking him in the safe room. Now the pirates' leader was a hostage. The remaining 3, panicked but still armed, held Phillips at gunpoint. After tense negotiations, the pirates offered a deal: take the ship's cash and Phillips in exchange for Musi, using a lifeboat since their own had sunk. Restarting the engines to lower the lifeboat required the crew, who emerged with Musi. The swap began, until the pirates double-crossed them, kidnapping Phillips and speeding off in the lifeboat. This dramatic hijacking inspired the 2013 film Captain Phillips, but it wasn't just a one-off. Somali piracy had simmered for years, ignored by American media, until this moment thrust it into the spotlight. So who were these pirates? Why did Somalia breed them? And how did the world finally curb their reign? Let's rewind to the roots of this chaos. Somalia sits at Africa's northeastern tip, flanked by the Indian Ocean and Gulf of Aden, a geopolitical goldmine where 20% of global shipping flows. Colonized by Britain and Italy until 1960, it unified briefly before descending into turmoil. In 1969, a military coup killed President Abdirashid Ali, installing a dictatorship that exploited clan rivalries, sparking a civil war by 1991. That year, the government collapsed. Clans battled for power, and northern Somalia split off as Somaliland, unrecognized globally. Amid war, famine, and disease, 350,000 died. Somalia's rich seas, teeming with tuna and coral, became a free-for-all. Foreign ships illegally fished 300 million in seafood yearly, per a 2006 UN report, gutting local livelihoods. Worse, since the 1980s, European firms dumped toxic waste, uranium, lead, mercury, on Somalia's shores. After 1991, with no coast guard, this exploded. Swiss and Italian companies like Acer and Partners and Progresso Shri trafficked waste, paying warlords with guns in the Guns for Waste scheme. Dumping cost $250 per ton here versus $250 in Europe, a 400-fold profit. A 2004 tsunami cracked these waste barrels, poisoning Somalia's coast. Villages reported cancers, rashes, and respiratory failure. Fishermen, starved and sick, fought back, patrolling as self-styled coast guards. What began as defense turned lucrative, hijacking ships for ransom. Armed with speedboats and AK-47s, they targeted cargo vessels, not just fishing boats. By 2005, piracy boomed in Puntland, a semi-autonomous region dubbed the Pirates' capital. Gangs recruited desperate teens, splitting ransoms, half to hijackers, a third to investors, the rest to guards and locals. Pirates called themselves Badadinta Bada, saviors of the sea, claiming to tax a lawless land. From 2005 to 2012, they earned $413 million, peaking in 2011 with a $7 billion global economic hit. Mega hijacks like the $3 million Sirius Star ransom in 2008 showcase their audacity. Back to Captain Phillips. His crew trailed the lifeboat, signaling the USS Bainbridge 500 kilometers away. 12 hours later, the warship arrived, joined by USS Haileyburton and USS Boxer. The pirates demanded $2 million, threatening Phillips's life. He tried escaping by jumping overboard at 2 a.m., but was recaptured amid gunfire. For 3 days, the Navy stalled, draining the lifeboat's fuel and blocking it with helicopters. Musi, his hand infected, sought medical aid from the Navy SEALs. Returning, he urged his crew to free Phillips, but they refused. As winds pushed the lifeboat closer to the warship, snipers took their shot, killing 3 pirates. Musi surrendered, and Phillips was saved. In 2011, Musi got 33 years in a U.S. prison. Post-2009, Task Force 151, EU and NATO missions deployed warships, armed guards on cargo ships shooting from high decks, slashed hijackings from 237 in 2011 to 15 in 2013. Barbed wire, water cannons, and faster ships sealed the pirates' fate. By 2017, hijackings vanished, until 2023, when U.S. ships shifted to Yemen's Houthi conflict. Pirates pounced again. MV Rowan in December 2023, rescued by India in March 2024, a Bangladeshi ship in March 2024, freed for $5 million, and a Chinese vessel in November 2024, released for $2 million after guards turned traitor. Somalia's story isn't black and white. 70% of Somalis see piracy as national defense against foreign exploitation. Yet the real pirates, some argue, are those who stole fish and dumped waste, unpunished to this day. Poverty and joblessness fuel this cycle, mirrored in Nigeria's oil-rich Gulf of Guinea, where locals loot tankers amid environmental ruin. Injustice breeds revolt, but when revolt breeds more injustice, what's the point? Revolting against wrong is human, but when it mirrors the evil it fights, it's futile.